Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, Season 2, Episode 6. We are your hosts, Maz, Brian and Ben. And of course, it was the big one. I was about to say derby and then I stopped myself because it's not a derby, it's a rivalry. So can we just clear that up? Yeah. First and foremost, it's a rivalry. Some people refer to El Gatwico, which I don't actually hate. I don't actually hate the El Gatwico, but yeah, it's definitely not a derby. It's a rivalry. So let's just start off with that. Indeed. The boys, of course, scenes, absolute scenes. We'll start off with you two because you two. Well, we're going to explain because we're going to explain this properly. But you two were in the away end, and
I was plastic basically. Long push.
Oh yeah, no. Let's not get it twisted. I was in the Palace end, regretfully. But yeah, let's start with you two. Just talk us through the scenes when Maupay scored. Just the emotions and the atmosphere.
I was already 10 flights. I was pushed 10 flights of stairs down, and that was only when the ball was going over Guaita as well. I hadn't even gone back at that point. And honestly, there's a pile up of 9 men. And I saw my mate Matt at the bottom of the pile, his face was going red. I don't know if it's because he was cheering because he was getting crushed. So I was literally picking up so many men, just getting him off him, dragged him out, and then just hugging him. And then they found our mates at the bottom as well. And it was absolute scenes. I could not believe
genuinely right, the best scenes we've experienced in I don't even know how long. I actually don't know how long.
Especially
probably in a very long time. Yeah, long time. The last away game I went to was Tottenham, and that was so dead, so boring. So yeah, oh god,
I think people forget. I think people forget though. We haven't actually had full crowds back for that long. I know it's been since the beginning of the season, but it's still it's still getting into the basically nature is healing. Nature is healing, boys. The away end scene.
Brentford away when we scored last minute, that was quality. And then, nothing that beats that Palace.
Yeah. I tell you what, if I don't get COVID after yeday, then that is a result because literally everyone
can't catch COVID if you don't get tested, mate.
True.
But Maz, I want to hear what it was like because this is quite cool to have because we were going to get a Palace guest, but he bottled it because he was ashamed.
We have got a Palace guest. We got Maz.
Jesus!
Right, I'll let that slide.
But it'll be fun to hear what it was like behind enemy lines with your Brighton Hove Albion.
Yeah.
As well.
So just to be okay. So I just want to explain myself first and foremost. I couldn't get an away ticket, as it was the hottest ticket in town. I couldn't get an away ticket, and I was like, I desperately want to be at the game just because I was like, this is potentially the game that takes us to the top of the Premier League, and to witness that in the flesh, it would have been great no matter where I was standing. So I was like, look, I've got to get myself a ticket. So I messaged a friend of mine, big shout out to Will if you're listening, which I probably won't be, but he works for Palace. He's one of the
good friend.
Yeah, he works for Palace, and so I messaged him. I was like, look, I know it's this is a bit short notice, but can you do anything? He was like, yeah, one of the analysts actually pulled out. You can have his ticket. I was like, okay, buzzing, cool. So it was like that David Brent meme from The Office. It's like, we got some good news and we got some bad news. The bad news is you're in the Palace end, but the good news is you're going to the game. That was the kind of situation. So just to explain the context, obviously I would have loved to have been in the away end. It was honestly, when I just to start off, it was 93 or 94 minutes of genuine hell. I was sitting there watching the game. First of all, let's be frank, we were shit, and so everything was we just weren't playing well. So I was frustrated at that. And then we had, obviously, I was surrounded by fucking weirdos, just absolute freaks. Honestly, there's 2 fans. They were just your typical football fans. Every cliche they were doing, it was you're shit, doing all that crap. Oh, and I was like, God, this is just painful. What am I doing here? I had to watch 93 minutes of just pure hell. But then when we scored,
oh god, yeah, how the hell do you even react?
What did you do,
mate? But the thing is, honestly, so obviously the ball's gone in, the away end's obviously erupted, and then everyone in the Palace end, I just obviously I just see hands on head. I seen people going mad, running towards the front, going mental, and I was just there, I was just going, I can't explain it, but I was just going, yes, but in my jacket. And I couldn't, obviously I couldn't go mad because I was, I would have got beaten up pretty simple.
That's the thing. I would have been terrified, especially that late on. I probably would have maybe just gone, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And
No,
then
so
you could have
what I
argued
did,
that
so
that's
obviously
just because you-
I've like fist pumped him to my pocket kind of thing, like giving it like just internally, like screaming internally, and then I ran straight to the front of the crowd because like everyone sort of pushed to the front of the stand. I've just run over and just got my phone out straight away, just like filming the scenes because I was like, I've got to capture the tears.
Yeah,
like,
that's the question
firsthand.
actually. What was the what did it look like for your perspective? Because for me, it just felt like a sore throat and load of guys on me, right? But for you, what did it look like for Brighton fans? Did we make a decent account of ourselves? Was it as loud as we thought it was? Because we
I'll be
felt
honest,
like we erupted, to be honest.
Well, this is the thing. So during the game, I'll be honest with you, I didn't actually hear the Brighton fans. To be honest with you, like because where I was,
you're right
and I'll
next
kid
to
you
them.
not, like I got to give credit to the Palace fans for the first 25 minutes. It was non-stop, like non-stop
Yeah.
singing. Obviously they got their megaphone and their weird things. Obviously the chants are shit, but I mean, yeah, they were giving a good account of themselves in terms of volume and non-stop chanting. But then, and I'll be honest, from where I was sitting, I couldn't really hear the away end at all. But then when that goal went in, yeah, you just heard dead silence, and then just an eruption of like, just like, like just the crowd going crazy.
Hate being on the other end of it, but it's great when you're on the right end of it, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
It was incredible, and like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I would have paid like a lot of money to be in that way end, but I just genuinely couldn't get any tickets at all, and I would have loved to be in.
It was horrendous though. I spent the whole match on the staircase. So the first half I was on the staircase at the top, and then and then I was at the middle of the staircase. Like, and for some reason, I don't know if they oversold or maybe people snuck in. I don't know
The thing
really
is,
what
though,
happened.
Ben, there was empty seats all along where I was, and no one even filled. Like,
Really?
genuinely, there was like 4 seats here, and no one turned up. So I had loads of room.
That's
I was
weird.
buzzing with it. Like, I was
Oh,
like,
that's
right,
obviously
awesome.
yeah.
Cheers,
Maybe
lad.
there were spaces
Cheers,
all
lad.
around the corners, but
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
that must have been it.
I found it
Because,
really strange.
The stairs were just packed. There was no way of getting up and down. No.
No,
Question,
that was
did you
hard
two
work.
did you two see each other at all during the game or not?
No,
Literally,
I didn't.
Just post match, I heard someone
It's
go
because
Ryan, and then I saw him walking up the stairs, and I literally barged through
Yeah.
everyone. I grabbed him. I was like,
No, it was so packed in the away end, so I sort of stayed out of it a little bit. I didn't go right into it all because I was a bit like, I'm going to take it a bit easy tonight. But no, like at full time, it was just like everyone was going mental, so I went in with it at the end. But no, oh boys,
met Ryan's dad.
what-
I literally picked
did
up
meet my
Ryan and then
dad,
looked
yeah.
next to him, and his dad was there. I was like, oh, I bet.
Mate, I felt like a little 15-year-old kid or something. I'd just been thrown into the air. I was like, oh my god.
Ryan, it's like have you seen we all would have seen the clip of Trossard being held like a little kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
By one of
literally
the-
what I was
That's
doing.
literally
by
what
one of the
happened.
away fans. Yeah,
Twice.
So
He did
good.
it twice, and I was
Yeah.
like,
So
oh my
good.
god.
But yeah,
it's
boys,
class,
let's get into the game then. So analysis of the game. So first of all, I just want to kick off, and obviously I'll pose a question to both of you, and I'll give my opinion as well. Bissouma. As soon as I saw the lineup, and I was gutted, Bissouma was out of the lineup, and I was questioning some of the personnel and the tactics and stuff. But as we do every game, I know you tweeted about it, Ryan. We sort of doubt Potter every game when he switches it up. But it was obviously a forced change with Bissouma, so you can't blame him, and he's got to put players in. So yeah, how big of a miss was he? Let's start with you, Ryan.
Oh yeah, I think he was. I think Conor Gallagher for them run it right. He was absolutely rampant.
Yeah,
the whole way through
Conor
the
Gallagher
game.
was class. He was class.
The only positive
But-
is that Conor Gallagher isn't actually their player, so like it's not even
it's true.
he?
He's
He's-
genuinely
is he on loan or is he
one of the
signed?
best.
Just alone, yeah.
He's only on loan.
Oh, he's
he's
on loan,
genuinely one of the best Palace players I've seen for them, apart from Zaha. Like he is genuinely that good. But at the same time, I do think that a fit Bissouma and you've got a different game, because I'm not taking anything away from Gallagher, but I mean, let's face it, he only had to play against Gross and Lallana, and two of those attacking players, they're not really made out to be the holding midfielder that, the box-to-box midfielder that Yves Bissouma is. So I think if Bissouma was in there, it's a different game completely. Gallagher doesn't have that space, that freedom, but, we were punished for it. I think that was where we lost out, because they just run us rampant. First half,
really
they were
did.
just completely dominating us. Like, not as much as we did to them, let's face it,
Yeah,
last season.
you say
but
that
we
though,
still...
Ryan.
Go on.
I feel like in the first half, full 90 minutes. I don't think Palace were that good. I just think we were awful. That's what I personally think.
I thought we weren't bad, but we weren't good, but they were better. That's how I sort of took it. I thought that we didn't do too. You couldn't pick out individuals and say they were necessarily bad, but then at the same time we weren't great. So it's a bit of a weird one. But I think the Palace they just had the spot on there, high pressing us. They were just forcing us into errors, and they were just causing lots of problems.
But
and I think that
honestly,
credit to them, they deserve to be in the lead at half time.
I don't get the thinking of having Lallana and Gross. Like you're playing
No.
I was about
Palace
to say
away.
this.
in like a really intense environment. You've got two slow midfielders that aren't defensive whatsoever. Holding it in the middle of the park. Like, where's the thinking behind that?
Against Gallagher as well.
Against Gallagher and that
rampant midfielders.
Milivojevic as well.
The thing is with that, and I completely agree, Ben. I think that's like hits a nail on the head. We had the three midfielders in the centre were a bit Gross and Lallana are alike, aren't they? In the sense of like technically gifted and really really good technically, but physically
they're not going to
and
defend
mobility.
much, are they?
No, exactly. So what either Mwepu or would you put Yakamoto? I don't know where Yakamoto is. He a winger? Or is he?
He doesn't like playing in the middle, does he?
Yeah, why is he not? I thought he was a centre
weird.
midfielder. I'm confused. Is he?
But the thing was, when he brought Moda on, I thought there was levels instantly. Like, okay, Alzate came on and got injured, 100%. And he looked really out of his depth. Alzate, I always give him credit.
I thought Alzate. Yeah.
He looked really out of his depth. He looked like he was thrown in the deep end and just couldn't swim with it. But then he did actually get injured, so hopefully he gets better soon. But Yakamoto, I was thinking, if there's one player you'd have in there, it's someone that plays for Poland, someone that's a good player. Like, whenever I see Moda play, we always say it as well. Like, we think he's a good player. And he came on yesterday, and Conor Gallagher's impact all of a sudden died down, and it was a different game again. So, in my opinion, I'd have had Moda in there from the beginning. But
to start, I think, with looking at the lineup, I think Potter. It just seems like Potter really wanted to go for it. It's quite an attacking team, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but
no, 100%.
Obviously, just didn't pay off at all. We
then
didn't have any chances to really attack.
I'd argue, I'm really happy that he went attacking it, and I really applaud that. However, why would you not then play, let's say, McAllister instead of either Gross or Lallana to give a bit more? Because at least he's a bit quicker, a bit pacier, and he's a bit more, maybe not as technically gifted as the other two, but he's a bit more mobile than the other two.
Yeah,
so I would have maybe
I
just
haven't
made that
watched
switch
it
as
back
well.
at all. So to say, like, I'm only going off what we saw last night, rather than watching it back, saw the highlights, saw why they did this and why they didn't do that. But yeah, I agree. I think
about
Moda,
100 times.
I've said that a few times. I don't get the thinking behind not starting like a Moda, even Alexis, but maybe not Alexis. I don't know.
But again, like we're not saying like we're not saying, of course, we came away with a point. It was great scenes at the end. We're not like sort of being negative, but we just would have liked to have seen. I think hopefully I'll speak for you two as well. Like, we would have wanted to see maybe a different personnel in the middle just to deal with Gallagher, because he did play exceptionally well. You got to give credit to him. He was really good.
That's the last two midfielders I've played together for that match. Yeah, if I was the manager.
Yeah.
But as I say, like, Moda came on and he was good. Like, I don't get that. Yeah. I'd like to hope that he does get a game against Arsenal, because I feel like their midfield against Tottenham was rampant as well. That's what, at Smith Rowe was all over the place.
Smith Rowe, yeah.
Yeah, and that, to be honest with you, actually, last night was probably one of those games where we missed a Ben White, because he would have been able to fill that gap in midfield, very, very quickly. It would have been, okay, we can put him in a 3, but then put him in midfield as well. And it's like, you haven't lost out too much. So probably for the first time this season, we miss Ben White, I think, because without Bissouma, you can't replace him.
Yeah, just as a question then, would you say that we don't have that DM now to slot in? So obviously, if Bissouma's out injured, do we have that like for like replacement?
No, I don't think we do. I think, as I say, Moda's the closest to it, but no.
We thought it was Moda, but he seems to be playing right wing back or right wing all the time, and then Webber, who's obviously just not cutting it at the moment. So it's a bit
all very strange.
Trick on.
I think
didn't even think about that, Brian. That's a very good point about Ben White.
Yeah. If we chucked Mwepu in there yesterday, I'd have been terrified, to be honest. I think we probably would have gone and lost 2 or 3-0, because if we're basing it off the last game, who was it we played? Leicester, yeah, absolute stinker when he came on, and I don't want to get on his back, because I know that he's very new, very needs to settle in and all that sort of thing, but to chuck him into a Palace game where the atmosphere's booming, to throw him into that. I mean, we saw what it did to Alzate. He was, you could tell he was quite startled by it.
But maybe that's why, looking on the other side, maybe that's why Potter then went for Lallana and Gross, because they were probably the most experienced pair. That's the only kind of thing I can understand.
No, 100%. They can handle that kind of occasion. They've been in those situations. Well, Lallana's been at the pinnacle. He's been at the top, right?
Yeah.
So,
and even like a Joel Veltman, I thought was, he's ready with all these atmospheres. He knows about it. But then I thought he was actually a little bit suspect at times. I thought, Veltman worries me a little bit now. Not as much. Last year he was Mr. Consistent, never dropped below a 7 out of 10. But this year it's been a couple of games now. I think
it was a tough game for him though. Zaha always plays a 10 out of 10 when he plays.
Zaha's true. To be fair, Zaha did turn up yesterday. He did play well,
does,
and yeah, like he always does. Yeah, but yeah. So let's talk about the first sort of incident then of the game. So I actually got to see it like right in front of me because obviously I was on the other end, and I saw it. And when I watched it first, I thought it was a penalty, and obviously I messaged. I remember messaging people who were watching it, and I was like, oh, like was it a pull? Because obviously they get to see replays, we don't. So I was like, was it a pull like on a Welbeck? And then it was like they were like, no, it was he just fell down on the pressure. And I've watched it back since, and I agree. I don't think there was anything in it at all. But it'd be interesting to see what you boys think as well.
No, I don't think it would have been, should have been a pen, but I think he probably should again, like similar to that chance he had against Brentford. He probably should have done a bit better though, for sure.
Yeah.
I reckon if he had gone down earlier, because I think it looked like he nearly got his legs tangled in with him. If he had gone down a bit earlier, then potentially he might have been a better shout because he actually went for the goal.
Yeah, just before as well, we get your opinion, Ryan, on the incident. I just want to say, like, I always say, I say this like every podcast, but I've criticised him in the past and stuff. But I thought he was brilliant. Like, especially in the first half, the way he ran the channels, the way he linked up with Cucurella on the left, and who else was down that side? Basically, I just thought he was brilliant. Running the channels really well. Yeah, holding the ball up. Yeah, first half I thought he was brilliant. And like fair play to him. He definitely turned up in the first half. Second half, he didn't get involved as much. But yeah, I thought first half he was brilliant. But yeah, Ryan, what do you think of the penalty incident?
Yeah, I instantly thought as soon as I saw it, I was last pen because I was so close to it, and I saw him put his body in, and it's just like that's a penalty. And my dad was like, "It's not a pen, Gary diver," and I was like, it was. and then you look left, you're like, yeah, it was a penalty. So it was just like, yeah.
Wait, are you talking? Wait, which end? We're talking about the first.
You talking about Gallagher? We're talking about Welbeck.
Yeah, Welbeck. Welbeck in the first half.
Oh, Welbeck. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't see that. Sorry, I was talking about the Trossard incident.
Yeah, I was like, what? Definitely penalty.
Sorry, I'm talking about
Welbeck in the first half. Welbeck in the first half.
Yeah, Welbeck in the first half. I couldn't see it, to be fair. So everyone was shouting pen, and I couldn't see it at all. So two completely contrasting opinions. Yeah. Two completely contrasting opinions there.
From my angle, like, I literally saw it like right directly in front of me. I had a really good clear view. And at first I thought I thought he got pulled, but then when I watched the replay when I got home, I was like, nah, like never a pen. He didn't. Right, there was just not enough. Yeah, not enough in it at all.
Mate, the two completely different opinions there. From like, oh yeah, clear as day. I could see it right in front of me. Couldn't see a single thing over the other side.
Yeah, I was more confused. I was like, what is he?
Sorry, because you said, because you're like, what do you think of the penalty? I was just instantly assuming the.
No. Well, I mean, Ryan, it brings us on brilliantly because that's the next point. The penalty, obviously. So you said it was definitely a clear penalty, and I think we all agree. I mean, I couldn't see it because from where I was standing, I couldn't see it at all. Yeah. So I had to watch the replays, but it was definitely a penalty, wasn't it?
Definitely. I think challenge really.
It was a silly.
Why did he do that? Like, I just don't get why you'd do that. We've got a minute left of the half. Not even that. Like 30 seconds after the half.
Literally,
just let him go. He's going nowhere. He's going absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Pushed him over.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think. I don't know. It's because obviously Gallagher was like he beat. I think he beat one man, didn't he? And then he sort of cut in to go past Trossard towards the box. I think he was. I think he was about to release, and then obviously Trossard's hit him with his leg. But I mean, it's a tough one. I feel like on the flip side, it is a bit dumb and it's a bit naive. Like you said, 30 seconds to go. Just let him have a shot and see what happens. But then at the same time, I can see why he's made the challenge as well. It was one of those ones. It's like, it's definitely a penalty, but. Did he should have done it? Should he have not have?
I mean,
one of those ones.
I think if you're gonna, it's an obvious one. If you're gonna go for a ball, if you're gonna go for a challenge in a box, you've got to get the ball. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I think the way Trossard did it, if you push him over, it's always going to be a foul. If you're going with your shoulders, with your body, it's always going to be a foul because you're not going to get the ball. You're not going to touch it. If he went in lunging, fair enough because you think, there's a God, I've dipped out. God's sake.
Oh.
I hate my Wi-Fi so much.
Yeah, same.
We're back. I actually went off on one then. I was like talking about like penalties. I was like, oh god, no, a lot dipped out. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was saying so before my Wi-Fi conveniently cut out as I was going on like a full-on rant here. I was saying Trossard, right? if you go in for the ball in the box, you've got to get the ball, right? Basically, if you're going to put a challenge in, if you're going in with your body, if you're going in with your shoulder, you're not going to get the ball. Let's face it. And I think if he went in, with his feet and then mistimed the tackle a little bit, you'd probably forgive him a little bit. You'd be like, okay, it was a bit reckless, but at least you went for the ball. Whereas there was no attempt to win the ball from Leo. He just pushed him over.
But without sounding cliched, like it was a proper attack as a challenge, wasn't it? Like it was just a, like it was a striker's challenge. He's just gone with it without thinking.
And I'm not just saying this because they only scored a penalty. I was literally thinking, I was like, the only way they're going to score a goal against us this game is from a penalty, and that's literally it. So frustrating. But
then Zaha obviously dispatched it. Great penalty, to be fair to him. And then he gave it the big one in front of the away fans, didn't he? What was that like from your
I've never wanted to run on the pitch. I'm not going to say it, but I never wanted to run on the pitch. And I've never wanted to run. I wouldn't ever touch him because I don't want to get put away, but I don't know. I've never wanted to run on the pitch in so much anger.
You weren't best pleased, Ben.
No.
Do you know what? And I'm not even just saying this to be like that. I genuinely, it didn't annoy me because I just thought I'd do the same.
Don't get me wrong. That's what makes Neil Maupay's bit even sweeter. I think that's why we get so worked up about a 1-1.
That's the thing. Obviously,
because he got his own back right to the Palace fans.
Mate, Ben, I was the same as you. I was like internally, obviously, I couldn't show any emotion, but internally, I was absolutely fuming. Like I was like, it's such a we were playing badly, but like at the same time, Palace didn't really deserve to go 1-0 up, and I was just like, such a shit way to go like 1-0 down, and then the Palace fans around me were just going mental. Honestly, at half time or whenever, when they started chanting after they scored, I've never seen something like it. Was, honestly, they thought that
mental.
I thought. It was mad, like they were going mad, but I was just like, come on lads, you're 1-0 up, it's half time, chill, like come on, we still got a long way to go. And they were acting like, and it's funny because after the game they're like, oh, Brighton are celebrating as if it was the Champions League final. Mate, at half time you lot were celebrating like it was the Champions League. So I was like, it's very double standards. If you're going to give it, at least like expect a lot back. So we went into half time 1-0 down, and of course Zaha gave it the big one, which I think at half time, it might have spurred the players on a bit, because Maupay mentioned it, didn't he? At full time, he said that Zaha did it. Yeah, he did the cup into the ear, so that's why I did it. So I think they, at half time, do you reckon like the lads sat down and like, lads, like we can't be having this. We can't be having this. Yeah, and I actually noticed Maupay, I actually noticed, because obviously I could see straight, like where the tunnel where they go down, I could see it straight in front of me. And he was the first player to go down, and he was like jogging to get into half time. So he was obviously thinking, right, let's get in half time, let's have a fucking chat. Like we can't.
It'd be interesting to see if he'll fly on the wall on that one in that change rooms for that team talk, because they had the chance, and also pre-match having the chance to go top of the league against Palace away on a Monday night. Like they could have. I would love to see what Potter said, or maybe if he just said that, look, you've got a chance to go top of the league against these boys. That should be enough to really try.
There's no bigger incentive, is there? There's no. No,
it really isn't.
I'll tell you what, actually, because obviously he shushed the family stand or whatever. So this is what I wanted to mention, because I've been taking it.
That was the family stand. It's full of people, wasn't it?
That's what I mean. So basically, this is what I wanted to bring up, because Ben, I'm sure you experienced it too. That stand, right, was not an obvious family stand, was it? They were abusing us the whole way through the game, literally, and they're all like 20s, 30s lads. Giving it the whole way through the game. They were just swearing, shouting, whatever. I love it. It's funny.
They'd walk down to the front and then start giving it and then walk back up. Even though we can still see him from their seat, which was really weird.
They were giving it the whole way through the game, right? So when I put that tweet on, which, Maz, you didn't see it. So I put a tweet on singing "We Are Brighton," blah, blah, blah. And obviously the stand was empty. So they're like, oh, you're singing to the family stand. It's not even full. Like, it's full time. Obviously, I could have filmed at full time, but I didn't because I didn't want to. So the point is, they were like, oh, you're singing at kids. Shut up, you're singing at kids. I actually wasn't singing it. The thing is, there genuinely wasn't any kids there. They stayed there
for ages as well. The people in the family stand, quote unquote, they were actually stood there for at least 10 minutes after the game, giving it to us.
Yeah. I just couldn't understand that at all, the family stand thing. Like, I was like, because I got probably hundreds of comments like, this is the family stand. And I was just like, but they're not. They're as far as I'm concerned.
No one's going to bring their kids to that game. No one's going to bring their kids to that game.
Your dar's in the family stand.
But it was quite sweet, to be fair, because there was this one guy, and you can always pick out one guy in the ground. You always just pick him out and you just think, and you just watch him. Oh, yeah.
I had about 3 of those last night. You're just an absolute felon. I hate you. Yeah, go on.
You can always pick out that one guy, and I was just watching him the whole time. He was going on about probably 30 minutes, I'd say, literally just giving it the whole way
think I know
through.
the
And then
guy
as
you're
we
talking about.
scored, he had like, I don't even know, he had like curtains. I can't really say.
Yeah, like quite fair blonde hair, was it?
Yeah.
He was Palace's version of Ryan.
Blonde curtains, it looks worse than mine. So, no, it was just that one guy. If you're watching this man with the blonde curtains, you know you were giving it the whole way through the game, mate, and you got everything you deserved back because, like, I'm not being funny. Like, that was just...
He was the last to leave that stand, I'm pretty sure as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. But yeah, why wouldn't you give it back? Like, hang on.
exactly.
That's one thing I just don't get, right? The Palace fans saying, "Oh, why are they celebrating that?" Why wouldn't you celebrate that, mate? A 95th minute equaliser feels like a win, doesn't it?
Listen,
like, you're going to celebrate it.
Let's just be real. Last season, they absolutely robbed us at the Amex. Well, not robbed us.
Yeah.
But they didn't deserve to win that game. And obviously the scenes at last minute, whatever. And then, like, why wouldn't we give it back when we have the opportunity to do so? Like, I know it was a 1-1 draw, but when you don't deserve something and you get it, it sometimes feels sweeter.
Makes it even sweeter.
Yeah.
We played
Because
so
you're like,
shit, and we scored
we were
in the
just terrible.
last second against our fierce rivals. Like, how are you not going to
Why
celebrate?
wouldn't you celebrate that?
And then going into the second half as well, obviously Potter made some changes, didn't he? So he went for 4-4-2, I'm pretty sure. He changed tactics. He brought Dan Burn off with Alzate. Obviously, as we spoke about, Alzate then did get injured down the line, but he did switch it up at half time. Obviously tactics, personnel, which was positive to see. Making a change at half time is always nice to see when you're 1-0 down and not playing well. So that was always good. And then Jordan Ayew, mate, you should be hanging your head in shame. I think the Palace fans would rather have Benteke on that because he absolutely fluffed his line. Honestly, so obviously again, it was right in front of me. So it was when they were attacking the Palace end. I was going to say our end then. Fucking hell. So when they were attacking the Palace end, and then literally. Everyone went, yes, goal! Like they're celebrating, going mad.
Yeah, because it hit the side net, didn't it?
Yeah, because it hit the side net.
I forgot about that chance. I completely
and then everyone was like, "Oh my god, how's he missed?" Like everyone's turning around like, "How?" And I was there like going, "Yeah!" Like inside, I was like, "Fucking get in," because I knew that. I think let's be real. I think that would have been game over. I don't think there's any coming back from that.
There, I've got
Thierry Henry in the studio apparently said that if that was his Arsenal teammate, he would have killed him in the changing rooms for missing that.
He was poor. It was very poor. Very at least hit the target. Make Sanchez make a save because that's
moments like that change it though, isn't it? It's those little fine margins and all that sort of cliche thing in football, but it's true.
Exactly,
the momentum does switch, and I think that last moment for Maupay. I mean, okay, we could go on about the scenes, but the finish was so good. I mean, it was his only chance of the game. Only shot,
so good.
Loops over the goalkeeper in the 90th to have that composure, the
Mr.
finish.
Clinical, mate.
Mr. Clinical,
Maupay,
11 shots and 4 goals for Neil Maupay now. That is incredible.
And what was it? Ryan, you tweeted it. Sky Sports tweeted it, and I saw you retweeted it. It was was it 71 shots, I believe, in his first season, was it?
91 shots in his first season, 10 goals, 74 and then 8. So to have 11 shots and 4 goals, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to continue that clinical nature the whole way through the season because it's just not possible. But I mean, that's like pretty impressive, isn't it? I mean, Erling Haaland would be happy with that. But
mate, he's probably like six shots, 4 goals, probably.
Yeah.
Right, you were talking about fine margins, and just the fact that makes it even more sweeter is when Gaeta like he said he was hurting his shoulder. He didn't even hurt his shoulder when Duffy challenged him, and that was the free kick that he obviously then hoofed.
Do you know what? I listened to that back actually on Sky Sports. That's the one thing I did listen to, and the commentators were really sticking up for Palace, and they were like, "Oh, is he still feeling his shoulder? Is that is it something that he's taken a knock?" No, he's just completely in no man's land. He's been lobbed because he's not good enough, and Ronald Maupay's robbed it from Crystal Palace as well. Yeah. And I tell you what, I love the fact he went up to all the fans doing that because they just needed to just shut up. They were getting so big for their boots. So
mate,
it's just nice.
It was honestly, and then let's talk about the goal. Obviously, we've all seen it about 1 million times each. So I think we could break this down quite well. But the ball from Veltman was just incredible.
The velocity of the strike.
Yeah. It was sick, like great, unbelievable assist,
beautifully weighted pass,
Bagger.
And also just like beautiful. You got to, mate, hats off to Neil. Like 95th minute, he knows it's that late in the game, and the composure, battling off Anderson and Kouyaté, and just dinks it over Gaeta.
Because I saw, because it was a great interview, by the way. If anyone's who's listening, or you guys have not watched it yet, the post match Thierry Henry interview was amazing.
Yeah.
I watched it all. Yeah, I watched it all last night. It was so good. And
good.
a couple of bits to pick out from that. One, it was just brilliant how he talked about Arsenal. He said that he likes to score against Arsenal. And Henry was bantering him. He was like, "Please don't score." He was like,
in French as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
he asked him, was like, "Please don't score against him." He said it in French.
Yeah, and so that was one fun video. But then the second part, which was quite interesting, just in terms of the finish. So Henry said the first question he asked him was, "When did you decide to lob the keeper?" And then Neil Maupay responded with, "As a striker, you always know that once a keeper's off his line, you know that like he's going to come out. You have to do it as soon as he sort of like made those first couple of steps." And he just said instantly, as soon as that ball's landed, like, I've taken one touch or whatever, I've then just decided to lob him because he's like sort of now or never kind of response.
Saying goalkeepers take you run so much slower when you're running backwards, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So like that was really interesting. The insight from obviously Neil Maupay and obviously Henry asking the question was great as well.
And also, what a sweet moment when like he actually started speaking to Thierry Henry. Like for the first minute, he was like, "I'm so grateful to actually speak to you."
He loved it.
I actually had
goosebumps.
That was so sweet. What a moment!
I need to listen to this. It sounds wholesome.
This is like probably one of the best nights of his career. Well, obviously, it's the result wise, no, but scoring last minute and then speaking to Thierry is probably one of his idols.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And then the interview,
French young striker, Henry's going to be a rider, wouldn't he? I mean, what better?
Yeah.
The interview he done for Brighton Hove Albion was like that. Actually, made me quite emotional. He was like, "I just do it for the fans, like running over there, seeing how happy they were." And he was like, these guys are working tomorrow and they come up here and travel. And just to make them happy, that is worth it. Like, just like you saying how much.
I love Neil. He's just one of us.
He says and does all the right things.
He's one of us.
Yeah.
He's one of us. Like, and I guarantee you, like all of the dramas that's happened, but behind the scenes and all that's come out and all that sort of thing. I just feel like he just cares. He just cares a lot, and I don't think
he's very.
I don't think there's any malice in Neil. I think he loves to give it back, and he's a bit of a wind up. But then who wouldn't be? But then at the same time, I just think he just cares. I can see that like passion in him.
He's not just a shithouse and that's it. He does.
No, he
actually got a heart.
And also as well, this season he's actually backing it up as well. As we talked about earlier with his stats, like 11, 4 goals and 11 shots. Like he's actually backing it up now. He's giving it some, but he can actually say, "Oh well," because imagine if you were a shithouse and you were shit, it just wouldn't have the same effect.
That's the thing. Last season, like I think Neil would, if he got that ball over the top, 90th minute, he's blasting that right over the bar. That's not even going on target. And that's not even rude and harsh to say, because Maupay last season genuinely would have smashed that over the bar. Because he was taking shots on, he was getting, do you remember the chance actually against Palace at Selhurst last year? And he was literally, like the ball was squared to him, he should have just struck it, it would have gone in. Instead he took like three touches and then he got tackled, and it was just like, it's just one of those where he just overthought the chance. And also impact of having no fans. But I think he's definitely a stadium player. He's one of those that's, he lives up to the occasion, and I think
he thrives off it. And then I think that sort of summarises the game quite beautifully. And also just little obviously after the game as well, me and Ben saw each other on the way to the station, all started kicking off with the fans. It was quite funny. But then
I had my getaway car. I was alright.
As I went out of the stadium, this is brilliant, right? So I was walking out of the stadium. I was like, listen, I've got to have some kind of release, because genuinely, like it was actually horrible for me, because I couldn't show any emotion. I couldn't do anything. Like it was just horrible. So I was like, right, I've got to do something. Like, as I'm walking out of the stadium. So as we were walking out of the stadium, I just started chatting to some random fans, obviously. Like, still think I was walking out with the Crystal Palace fans. And I just turned around to one guy. I was like, "Oh, that was fucking shit, wasn't it, mate?" Like, just like, pretending I was a Palace fan. I was like, "That was fucking shit, wasn't it, mate?" He was like, "Yeah, it was awful, mate. Like, can't believe it. Last minute." I was like, "Yeah, I can't believe it, mate." He goes, "This is the best part." He goes, "I'll be thinking about this all week." I went, "Yeah, so will I."
That's good.
I was just like,
you should have gone so well and showing him your phone, your background for your phone at the Brighton.
Mate, oh my God. I didn't tell you about this bit as well. So obviously, as we got into the stadium and like we're just sort of chilling in the stand, the guy, my friend Will, I was with, he was like. And I was just going on my phone like normal, and then like I didn't think of anything. He was like, Maz, your screen saver. And obviously for people that don't know, that's my screensaver. And it was on, mate. It was on full brightness as well. And he was like, mate, you need to dim that down. And I was like, yeah, sorry, like I just wasn't thinking at all.
No, yeah,
and I was like, wow, that was a bit of a.
I had to.
That's cool.
I didn't have to go at your end, well, the Palace end, but I had to go through the Palace fans because I parked right. My dad parked up some road on like a park on your drive thing, So we parked on this road thing, and we had to come up through the home fans, right? So it was basically like coming in with the locals, and obviously that's my phone case. So I was a bit like, oh god, I was like, what should I do with it? So I did take it off, but I was like, that fear of having no case on your phone. I was like, oh my god, if I drop this, it's curtain.
Oh mate, honestly, yeah, like I was just like, look, I've got to do something here because I need to get some kind of emotional release out because I just like, but then also I did that, and then obviously when I saw you, Ben. Oh my god, Ben, do you not remember as well when we saw each other and we hugged, like we jumped on each other?
Mm.
Do you remember like the six? Oh, yeah, that sounds well sus. let's just clarify. We were fully clothed. Yeah. It was in public, so nothing dodgy happened. But no, so we saw each other just outside the station, basically, as like everyone's getting escorted into the station.
Yeah, by the clock tower.
Loads of Palace fans and Brighton fans, like loads of Brighton fans going in. And I've seen Ben, and I've like jumped, like we've run towards each other, like grabbed each other, like hugged each other, and like celebrated. And then Ben, do you not remember like the 6 Palace fans behind us going, "Fucking come on, then!"
Yeah,
mate, they're literally from
you were just standing with him, and then you ran from the Palace side to the Brighton side and hugged me.
Yeah, because it was like full, like literally, I'm talking like 5 foot away. These 6 Palace fans, all like just
about Maz away,
like 5 foot away, and like these
and
just
we were
like
just
retarded, like,
fuck,
and then they were literally like going like mad. I was going, fucking come on in. I was like, mate, relax, it's football, chill out. Like,
they
come
were
on, we don't need to fight.
Angry, and at the train station, it kicked off loads.
Yeah, what happened at the train station? Because obviously I didn't go.
I don't know. I saw loads of police like fighting fans. All the classic fans. Like,
I wasn't allowed to go.
And then he would like try and stand back, and the classic like being rude.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to go.
Hold me back.
We were literally standing outside the station for 20 minutes because there was
that's probably why.
Police barricade.
For ages.
Full police barricade, and we had to wait there for like 20-25 minutes just to get on the train.
It was.
So it wasn't ideal. Wasn't ideal. But yeah, what a day, boys! What a day! What a day!
Oh, what a day!
We saw, and also I need to say to everyone that I saw at the stadium, they're all class. I've got so many people coming up to me and saying they love the podcast and stuff like that. It was so nice to see it. I know Ryan, you had it as well. It was class.
People chanted my name, mate. What is all that about?
That
was like, oh my god. It's almost like Ryan, that's it. And there was like a good like 10, 20 of them, and I was like,
that's brilliant.
Mad, but it's insane.
That's brilliant. I also when I was with like the Brighton fans right at the end, like towards the station, I had a couple as well. So I mean, like Ben,
they tried to Seagulls Social, weren't they? When we were walking down. So.
like Ben said, we literally everyone who watches and listens, we really appreciate all the support and like all the stuff that we've done in the last year and a bit and whatever it's been a mad journey, and hopefully we just keep training out the content. And
I spoke to this older guy as well. He was standing next to me in the first half, and we chatted for quite a while actually. And he was saying like he can't. I think he watches the podcast a bit as well. And he was like, it's good to see that the Brighton fan base is in safe hands and stuff like that. Yeah, he actually tweeted me after the match, being like, the future's in safe hands. I was like, that's class. But
amazing.
Nice well. Yeah, so if you're
big shout. Yeah, if you're watching, big shout.
Yeah.
Big shout.
He was like, there are so many drips that support this club, and I was like, I kind of know what you mean, but I do.
You're right. To be fair, you are right. To be fair,
every fan base, every fan base has a majority or a small minority of retards.
Drips,
Sorry, shouldn't say retards. Sorry, completely
blur that out.
But if you're watching this podcast, you're by no means a drip.
Yeah,
you're in safe hands.
Legend. You're a legend.
You're right.
Right,
you're a legend.
Boys. Let's get on to the Arsenal preview then. So,
we've got to talk about another match now.
Big game. So as we predicted, Bod, just quickly actually, predictions last week. I said draw. Ben, I think you said a draw as well, didn't you? Or am I chatting?
I said 2-1, didn't I?
Well, I actually think I said 2 different results, because when we done the whole guessing the 3 matches,
just to cover all bases.
I said a draw. In that, and then when we were doing the preview, I said 2-0 win. I think so.
We'll either draw, win, or lose. I reckon. I don't know which one though.
All I'm saying is my previous prediction.
All I'm saying is I predicted 2 in a row. That's all.
1 out of 3 so far, Maz.
Anyways, and also out of the 9 points, we've got what possible. 1. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, we've got 1 out of 9 so far, and there's another 6 to play for. So, Arsenal boys, what do we reckon?
Oh,
Ryan, kick us off, mate.
Do you know what? They were quite impressive against Spurs, because I did actually watch that rare moment where I actually watched the full Premier League game that wasn't Brighton, and they were quite impressive. I've got to be honest. So
Spurs were shy though.
Yeah, they were. They were really bad. And to be fair, that's the Nuno effect, isn't it? I mean, why they appointed Nuno, I've got no idea. But Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go with the win again. Do you know why? Because I think
teams like Arsenal. Remember,
it's teams like Arsenal. It's teams like Arsenal, and I did say we'd get 9 points, and obviously we're only going to get 7 this time. But I do think we've got it in us. You know, if we can scrap to the end, we've proven that we've now got this plan B, and it works really well. We can fight to the end. We've got that togetherness. All those cliches, but they're actually true now.
Facts.
And I feel like with us, like as I said at the beginning of the season, it just feels like a slight difference in the air. And I know I keep saying it, but last season I don't think we would have done that, and I don't think we would have done Leicester, and I don't think we would have even done Brentford. So there's 3 games there where we haven't deserved anything, and yet taken 7 points out of all of those. I think there's no reason why we can't have a bit of confidence. Back at the Amex, of course, the atmosphere at the Amex recently has actually been really good.
Yeah, it's been quiet.
If we've got Bissouma starting, I think we're more than capable of beating him, definitely. It's just, if he's not, I do worry, because their midfield is good.
I think on the Bissouma thing, I think I read it was either Andy Naylor or one of the big sort of media outlets. Apparently, they're gonna assess him at the end of the week. So I feel like when they say assess, when I hear the word they're going to assess him at the end of the week, I'm a bit like, that doesn't sound positive whatsoever.
He should be out for another 2 weeks and be back, and then you should never see him again.
He'll be gone in January.
I'd love to see Lamptey start, because I think he made his debut for Chelsea against Arsenal at the Emirates once. So I think
be a big one to drop him into, though, wouldn't it?
Mate, but will it? Teams like Arsenal, mate. Should be an easy win.
Well, I think with Arsenal, I'm going to be honest, boys. I don't want to be a pessimist here, but it wasn't just because they beat Spurs. I feel like the way they lined up. So with their, the right back they signed from Italy, the Japan, I believe it's Japanese, the right back. Okay, anyway, they got the Japanese right back, and then they got Ben White, Gabriel, and Tierney. And then Ramsdale looked pretty solid. Apart from the goal, he looked pretty solid. So I feel like their foundation now, that if they keep that back line sort of consistent, I feel like it's quite a good foundation. Tierney, Gabriel, White, and the Japanese.
Ben White was good as well against Tottenham.
And Ben White played really well.
I was quite impressed with him. Yeah.
I
mean, I'm happy for him. I hope he does well, but just not on Saturday.
Having
an absolute stinker on Saturday.
He drops a disaster class like he did against Rashford, against Man United, and hopefully he does.
Mate, Maupay's going to do it to him. You wait. He knows.
I just feel like the foundations they've got. I am getting the confidence now from battering Spurs, and Emile Smith-Rowe and Saka did look very, genuinely very, very good. And they've got the likes of Pepe, Lacazette to come off the bench as well. So they've got quality now in depth.
Pepe, Lacazette, I'm no longer worried. I reckon we'll win.
Pepe scores against us, mate. Pepe does score against us.
He does like to score
against us. And then the previous match as well, I think he scored one.
So
Pepe always turns into Neymar against us. Why is that? And he's just bad.
I don't want to be a pessimist, but I feel like it's going to be a draw because we're at home. I think the home advantage is going to help, and I feel like we usually turn up against Arsenal as well. So historically, most of the time, majority of the time, we do turn up against them. So fingers crossed. I think it's the Maupay incident, wasn't it? Guendouzi and Maupay. I think that's what.
But even going back to first year, I remember when Murray wound up their fans. Do you remember when we beat them 2-1 and he was in front of their? First season. In the Prem.
Wasn't Maupay when he did that as well in the black?
That was as well, but the first season.
That was 1-1
when we beat them 2-1. No, the Amex. First
the Amex. Right. Sorry, I thought you talked about
the Amex. And then we lost 2-0 as well away. So in the first year, Murray went up to their fans. You don't remember, and he was giving it all this, that Murray stare run thing. Oh, the Murray stare. He just stared at he used to just stare at the away fans, and it was just from that they just seemed to get riled up. So then Maupay just added that fuel to the fire 100%. So
that's the thing. I feel like we're playing them at the wrong time, because they were awful at the beginning of the season, and they're now slowly starting to pick up confidence, results. Some kind of shape
it's another
and stability.
One where Maupay's going to be fired up though, and when you fire Maupay up, you're on for a decent one. I think against Palace, they'd fear Maupay now because they'd think. And I went on a Palace podcast as well, and he said, "I'm really scared of Maupay." He was he could be
mate.
Problematic, and I was like, I don't know. It depends how he turns up. It depends if you rile him up, and they did. So that's what worked. So Arsenal, I think, similar sort of outcomes.
What I would say though, don't get me wrong, Maupay, he's playing really, really well, but there's just so much one man can do. Do you know what I mean? Like it does take a team. Like I feel like when we miss Bissouma's, like we talked about earlier, who comes in, who replaces him, who steps in, like who will make that step out. And like I'll be honest with you, our performance yesterday did not fill me with confidence. I know we showed resilience. We did let's talk about that. Like we did show that fighting spirit, like fighting till the end, not giving up, and we did get an equaliser, which was obviously amazing. But that up until that point, I felt like we just didn't offer much. And
it reminded me of the Everton performance when we literally just didn't turn up. But that was only one time this season when we have done that. Oh, now you can say Palace as well, but we actually.
But no, on the whole, not turning up seems to be a theme of the season so far. I wouldn't really say we've had apart from Watford, maybe we haven't really had a game where we've taken it by the scruff of the neck and really looked like we're the Brighton of last season. That's not really how we roll now, and I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually a good point. I was thinking back at all the games that we just played.
Watford, we demolished them, but that was more just because they were rubbish.
Let's put a positive spin on this as well. We're the only team to beat Brentford this season as well. So I mean, that's pretty much well, I'm 99% sure. Yeah, because Liverpool.
Because they drew with Liverpool. That's crazy.
Drew with Liverpool. I think. Or is it we only team to beat Brentford? I don't know. Anyway,
you're probably right.
I think I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I'm going to double check just because I'm worried.
But no, my point is right. I have no harm or no problem with us playing less than positive football if it gets us results. Because last season was so filled with pain. I don't think I can physically sit through a game watching us have 30 odd shots and 80% possession and then not score. I'd literally rather us have one shot and defend the whole game but win 1-0. Like that's genuinely, I'd rather that. 100%. And I think that's going to be what we've got now.
Just to clarify, Brentford have not been beaten this season. Apart from their weird mid-season friendly with Arsenal, which was behind the closed doors, so obviously doesn't count. But their only team to beat them is Brighton, and they've beat Arsenal, drew against Palace, won in the EFL, drew against Villa, beat Wolves, and drew against Liverpool.
That's the thing. But then again, we talk about the performance against Palace, but then again, before the game, me and Ben, you sort of quoted it. We said, it's a cup final. It doesn't really reflect anything on the whole season. No, it doesn't. It doesn't really matter because it literally all of that goes out the window. Yesterday was purely emotion. That's all it was. There was nothing, no real tactics in it. Okay, Vieira actually did do some pretty good tactics, particularly in the first half.
Pissed me off.
Yeah,
Vieira outdone Potter.
He did. He outdid him, particularly first half, as I say. But it was a route one ball over the top and a lob. That was it, and it was a penalty. That was a penalty, and then that was it. So it was 2 goals that weren't really fashionable. It's just 2 moments that a bit of emotion behind it. Zaha went mad. Maupay went mad. And that's all it was. I wouldn't really read too much into the performance of that, and I'd be more concerned if we dropped a performance like that against, say, even against Watford, and we struggled. That would be more concerning.
I think the point I'm trying to make is my only sort of slight concern is if we perform like that against Arsenal, who can punish you really badly, because going forward they have got some really good options. Like we talked about, Aubameyang, Emile Smith-Rowe, Saka. That's quite like a formidable front three. And when you compare that to, with all due respect to Palace, I even said this to my mate yesterday. I don't think that Palace team is that good at all. If you look on paper, no, I genuinely don't think. Apart from I'll give credit where credit's due. Gallagher played really well. Anderson and Guehi were solid. But I think they'll get found out throughout the season with going forward, because I feel like Benteke and Ayew I don't know what they're doing. I feel like going forward they're not that great. But defensively,
they've got Orleans, they've got Edouard, they've got Eze to come back as well. They've got a pretty decent side, if I'm honest. I'm
not too sure.
Decent individuals at the moment.
Look, I'm not saying they're shit by any stretch. I'm not saying they're bad at all. But I just feel like, how we played this so far this season, on paper, when you put us against our team against theirs, I know if we had Bissouma, obviously, if you compare those 2 teams, I think personally on paper we would be the stronger side. And then I think I was just left a bit underwhelmed by yesterday's performance. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. I just felt a bit underwhelmed by how we came out and how we performed.
I agree. I think it's just simply because it was that cup final game.
I wouldn't read too much into performance.
If it was like a league game and we played like that again,
no, of course. Listen, look, we might turn up to our, at home against Arsenal. We might even beat them 2-0. whatever.
5:30
Like
kick-off,
we could,
bit of an
yeah,
evening atmosphere again.
Yeah, we can turn up and we could, and it's very plausible for us to do that. Like we've shown it in the past. We have beaten Arsenal before. Like there's no reason why we can't beat them. But I just thought,
plus Potter loves the game against Arsenal. He's got a cracking record against them, and I think, as we mentioned the cup final thing. I just think, as I say, I wouldn't read too much into it because I didn't think that. I don't think it's one of those things that really matters too much. As I say, if we go against Arsenal and we really are poor. Then I'll say, okay, fair enough. But if you look at last season where we literally dominated Palace, literally dominated them completely, held them to the sword, and somehow they still managed to come out with a win. But then yesterday, it was literally backs to the wall until the last minute. It was a lob over, and then we just lobbed him, and then that was it. And then we come away with a point. We actually got better off from playing how we did yesterday than playing with 25 shots and 75% possession.
Of course. Yeah.
I think
last season, like the narrative of last season was very frustrating. Like we dominated teams.
I think that's what you'd rather get a point, right? You'd rather them not beat us.
So of course.
I think if as much as it's not entertaining, it's not nice on the eye. At the same time, if we need results, this is what everyone was telling us last season. It's a results business. It's football.
Yeah, of course.
If we can go against Arsenal, play not necessarily great, but we win, I don't care.
To be fair, I said last week, didn't I? I said if we get a draw, I'll be happy with that. To be honest, like Selhurst Park is a tough place to go.
A draw at Selhurst is not bad at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Playing bad and getting a result, it's an unbelievable thing to be able to do. So imagine if we actually play well.
And that's the thing against Arsenal, I'll be happy with a point. I'll take a point all day long because like we said, go on then. I'll kick us off. I reckon 1-1. I'm going to go with.
Okay. I think we're due. I think we're due a game to play well. I think we're due. We keep talking about this conventional thing. I think we're due a game where we prove that we are what we are and we're here for a reason. I think we're going to win 2-0. I don't think they'll score.
Oh, bold! I like it. I love the positive, Ryan. That's one thing I do love about you. I'm feeling a great positive mindset.
I'm feeling a 2-1 win.
2-1, interesting.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna go scorers, Ryan. Give us some scorers.
Neil's got to score, hasn't he? He has.
Yeah, he's got.
Neil's got to score. He's got to go up to him and shush him or something like that.
Do something mad. Yeah.
What else could there be as well?
I was going to say that I reckon there'll be. I feel like Aubameyang's going to score, whether it be a penalty or
it's a chance.
For some reason, I feel like
Pepe.
After I think he scored against Spurs. Am I right? Or my
yeah. He did,
Do you know what? Right, this is going to be so bold. This is definitely going to get clipped when we lose. But I don't fear Aubameyang. I really don't. I never have. I just don't fear him at all. Oh my god, that's going to be so bold. But I just don't. I never get a fear of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. No, but I think last season again he was pretty. Bang average. I don't think he scored many goals. Yeah,
he just never really scores against us, does he? Like, it's one of those players that is good. He's a great player, great goal scorer, but I don't really get fearful of him. I don't know. Like when we play against Vardy, right? He always scores against us. So I'm like, okay, I'm scared of Vardy because he always scores, and I'm scared of Grealish because he always scores against us. I'm scared of Zaha because he always. But it doesn't happen with Albert, and I just don't think it's going to happen again. I think we're going to come out. I think we're going to win 2-0. Maupay's going to score, and I'm going to say, I think it'll be someone less likely. I think it'll be like a Moda or someone an own goal. He's one of us still. Come on. Ben Blue and White is going to score
Agent White.
Funny enough, actually, I'm not going to name names and no one's going to get in trouble. But my friend sent me a picture of this girl that he follows on Instagram, and it's Ben White and some other boy out. Maybe it was over the weekend, but they're obviously out partying. Wouldn't have been allowed to do that at Brighton, but he's doing it under Mikel Arteta. So
he wouldn't have been allowed, but he'd have done it anyway here at Brighton. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then Ben, who do you reckon will score in the 2-1? So you said Aubameyang for Arsenal, and then who for Brighton?
Yeah, Neil Maupay brace.
If Maupay gets a brace, I'll be so happy.
I'm going to go with. So happy. I think Emil Smith-Rowe is going to get his second consecutive goal. I was about to say game there. Goal. And then I'm going to go with... I want to say Neil Maupay, but I think we're going to score from a set piece. So, I'm going to switch it up and just go with
Is it?
Donkey. Lewis
Dunky
Dunk.
boy.
He's going to be fired up as well because he got a lot of abuse yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be.
Bobby Sanchez as well. What a hero! Should we just quickly say that? Giving the little wankers to the Palace fans. And that's a disgrace.
As well.
That's a disgrace. The fact they didn't have no security at the end there for them.
I know.
No protection.
That was poor. Yeah, that was poor.
Do you see all the Palace fans are calling Potter a snowflake and stuff? But like, not being funny, I get the snowflake jokes, but like at the same time, imagine they got jumped by
Yeah, no, 100%. Definitely, it's like a valid concern. Do you know what I mean? Like your players are going back to the change room against their
rival game.
One of their big rivals. And yeah, they're just going to be fine, are they? Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. That is the Arsenal preview and the end of another beautiful podcast. I felt like that was another cracker. So, boys,
and I'm also happy that we've got these Hyper Turquoise lights as well, Ryan.
Hyper Turk.
Yeah, because they're going to go to the background, Ben.
Who's closer to Hyper Turk? Because mine's slightly different colour to yours. I think mine's more
yours is like for some reason.
No, they look pretty. They look pretty
similar.
similar.
For some reason, I think you can see like the ribs. Oh no, it's because you've got that white bar covering it. I've literally just got the LED strips up.
I noticed it halfway through and it was bugging me because I feel like I'm not quite like the right colour. But
I think you messed up. Anyway, right, boys, comments down below. What we're going to have? I reckon it's got to be Maupay is a shithouse. Surely that's got to be the comment down below if you watch on YouTube.
Oh, do something to really wind them up though. Do something because if there is Palace fans watching, we need to rattle them a little bit more. I don't think I'm done rattling yet.
Just put King Neil.
King Neil. I think Neil. I feel like it has to be something with Batty Shithousery because he is the ultimate shithouse.
Yeah,
he is the ultimate shithouse.
Also, actually, just before we go, because talking about Neil, because I put a poll on my Twitter because it's really annoying me. Yeah, because quite a few people have been saying Maupay differently, and it annoys me because to me, right, it's Maupay.
This is easy.
AU is
Maupay,
in French, right?
Yeah, Maupay.
And pay.
Yeah.
Maupay, but people say Maupay or Maupay.
Whilst we're on that subject,
Maupay, it winds me up.
Cucurella.
Cucurella.
Yeah,
Cucurella.
When we were singing the Cucurella song, everyone was like saying it wrong. I was like, well, and then we actually people, during the song on the train, we were like, no, can we actually just say how? I think they were saying Cucurella because we go Cucurella.
Yeah, isn't it Cucurella? Like the
Cucurella, isn't it?
Yeah,
silent. The L's are silent.
Yeah.
Like paella, isn't it? Like paella.
But I don't want to say Cucurella, and then everyone just takes the mick saying, "No, just say Cucurella." But
no, it's Cucurella. I'm pretty
sure.
To
say Cucurella,
it is Cucurella. But like,
right, boys, I'm making an executive decision. Comment down below if you're watching on YouTube.
Neil Maupay, you sexy shithouse.
No,
Neil Maupay, you sexy shithouse.
Okay. Neil Maupay, you sexy shithouse. We want it down in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube.
Everyone comment.
And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please do like, comment and subscribe. Again, it does mean a lot to us. I really appreciate the support. And keep streaming it, keep listening on Spotify, Apple, all that jazz. Because again, it does mean a lot to us and we really appreciate all the support. And we love doing this podcast for you all.
Love doing the podcast.
Boys. What else? Was there any discussion? Oh yeah, I'm going to be on also as well. I'm going to be on an Arsenal podcast with Lee Judges from AFTV.
Oh, the bald boy.
The bald geezer, and Kevin Campbell, and Dan
Kevin
Potts
Campbell.
as well from Kevin Campbell, the ex striker.
Damn it again, you.
He's done that Neil Maupay. He's done it. No, it's not.
It was a perfect impression from Ben.
That was very good.
He doesn't even open his teeth, does he?
That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
That's class.
That was top class, man.
This is the content you get if you watch us on YouTube and you don't. Unfortunately, Spotify on Apple, you wouldn't have seen that.
Mate, we should start making some like £3 sign up exclusive content like CFC.
Yeah, subscribe to our Patreon for more stuff like that.
Yeah, Patreon. Yeah. All right, boys. Well, so I'll be going on that podcast. So I'll make sure that I'll be letting him know about your impression, Ben, as well.
Love that.
I'll let Lee know.
Do it.
Yeah. Oh, Ben, if you can record a clip, I'll actually show it to him. That'd be so jokes.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, record a clip. Yeah, record that clip and send it to me. Right, boys. As always, absolute pleasure. And we hope everyone appreciated it and enjoyed the listen and the watch. And of course, we'll be back after the Arsenal game.
Peace. Love, peace, and techers.
Oh, why say that? Why say that? Love, peace, and techers.